Hey, what's up, and welcome to my corner of the internet. Either you live under a rock or you don't care for manga or anime. We recently lost the author of Berserk, and arguably one of the most heralded mangas ever that has had terrible adaptations but still is one of the most beloved stories. The author recently passed, leaving us with an unfinished story, so to speak, even though if you're up to date with the manga, it's at a point where if the story ends, I guess that would kind of be it. Which is unfortunate because I still want to know what's going to happen with Griffith and some of these other key characters. But regardless, we're not going to get into that at the moment. At this moment, this news put me into a bit of a funk, and it's made me think about some of my favorite unfinished stories. The one such first unfinished story I would like to talk about is Hunter x Hunter. This is one of those mangas that changed my life and helped develop me as a human being, and I would love to talk about it, reminisce, and maybe we can just find solace in the story, and maybe you share some of my feelings.
Miruki, 3人に手を出したら殺すぜ。
Because when the author of Berserk passed, I thought about how stories can be just left unfinished, and unfortunately, this is a possibility, a very true and very real possibility, and we're experiencing that at the moment. And I think I have to learn how to be fine with where stories are left off at. Being a manga artist is one of the most difficult jobs out there. The hours are grueling. It's consistently put so many authors in the hospital. Its treatment at times is not the greatest, and there's little to no social life for most of these artists. And even recently, the writer of Jujutsu Kaisen had to take off a break, and that's because his health was becoming a growing need or issue. This is a reality that we could lose some of these artists because being a manga writer is difficult. It's not the easiest thing to do, and unfortunately, it's a very real reality. Unfortunately, this showcases the stark reality for many artists. And as someone who is personally an artist himself, not in the same media sense, I realize that art is at the will of whoever creates it, and if some of my favorite stories are never finished, that's a very real possibility. And I have to grow up and accept that and deal with whatever scraps I'm willing to get and not keep breaking my heart waiting for my story to finally be finished. So as you can tell, I'm speaking about Hunter x Hunter. Hunter x Hunter is written by Yoshihiro Togashi, is a shonen, and has one of the longest hiatus since 2019. And Hunter x Hunter is probably the manga and anime that inspired me to be who I am today. It is one of the fundamental parts of my entire being, and I read it at such a pivotal point in my life when I was in between 15 all the way up until 19, and I've reread it so many times. I've reread it as an adult, and the story becomes more and more meaningful the more I appreciate it, and its art style continues to captivate me to this day. Watching Togashi's style of creation continue to evolve and morph through in each panel, Hunter x Hunter is a masterpiece of growth, artistry, and what can be achieved when an artist throws everything into their craft and gives so much life to their characters. With all that being said, I think I've given up on Hunter x Hunter. While I was doing research for this video, I literally found the site of Hiatus x Hiatus, and it's literally an up-to-date website. As close as literally a couple days ago, it was updated with, oh, this anime is still on hiatus, oh, we're still waiting, and people are still pining for the next chapter within this manga. And unfortunately, I'm of the inclination of thinking, I think that's it. I think we may never get an ending to Hunter x Hunter, and facing that reality sucks because there's so many unanswered questions, and I would love to see where Gon's story fully ends and so many unanswered questions and what's going to happen in the New World arc. But if I'm going to be completely honest with myself, Hunter x Hunter has completed its goal already.
敗色恋難敵にこそ前例をもって臨むこと。
Regardless if it does have a goal or if it doesn't, Hunter x Hunter has teach some of its most fundamental plot points of a child going on a journey in search of his father and finding friends, adventure, and finding out the realities of life, and built upon the layers of character building, world building, a power system, understanding the harshness of the world, losing himself and learning about himself throughout each situation and being tested and finding out who he is within the world. All of these things have already happened within the Chimera Ant arc.
終わってもいい。
Hunter x Hunter has completed so many goals and taught so many things, and through each arc, it's a bit of a masterpiece of a linear storytelling where we get to get pieces of the world and we become more and more engrossed in what can happen, the possibilities, the interactions between each characters and each character's growth. And when we think about, let's just say, Kurapika and how he's so different from the beginning to where he is now, like if you read the manga, he's taken a turn for the worse, and you see some pieces of him fall apart, and then you see Leorio and we see how he's doing. It's unfortunate, but I think the story, if it ended now, I think I have all the pieces I need to know. My love for Hunter x Hunter begins at adventure and continues at adventure. Gon goes out into the world haphazardly. We don't know in the beginning of the story if he has all the tools, and come to find out he doesn't. And each character we meet has their own motives and their own story that each are interesting, and I love them all equally. And their interactions, their own narratives, and how each of them interact makes Hunter x Hunter such a weird and different showcasing of shonen. Togashi is a genius. He creates stories with so many different and interesting plot points. His shonens are never simply about battles and fights. They always teach something, or they delve into some deeper and darker and philosophical ideas. It's all over the blueprints of Yu Yu Hakusho, and it showcases in Hunter x Hunter some of the ideas that were imprinted from his past work. I personally, as an artist, realize I would rather someone continue to give me stories and be in better health or continue to survive versus give me a great story and then die. Hunter x Hunter is deceptive in its ability to talk about such very psychological and philosophical ideas, and each of its characters embodies some sort of ideal, or at least grasp or deal with so many different aspects throughout the world. Hunter x Hunter is filled with so many different ideas that meld and showcase about life. I'm so surprised that this is considered a shonen, because Hunter x Hunter gets deep, it gets dark, it gets sinister, and it broaches upon so many different very real topics that I'm just like, whoa, shonens like these, I don't think you can show these to children, but at the end of the day, I found it as pretty much a kid. Hunter x Hunter is filled with so many great and amazing moments that taught me how to go out there and live my life. The story is basically about going out there and chasing your goals, just like a normal shonen, but dealing with the realities of life and finding out more about yourself and making friends along the way and having detours while you interact with the world around you.
道草を楽しみ大いにね欲しいものより大切なものがきっとそっちに転がってる
I think the story has fulfilled that goal, and anything else seems to be extra. Even though we're looking at the New World arc and some of the other aspects of the story and some of the loose ends that seem to be creeping through, and seeing Ginge beat up on people and so many other stuff, I think if Hunter x Hunter pretty much ended here and there was never another chapter uploaded, I think I would be fine, because it already gave me so many amazing and important things that I take with myself every single day. So I think I can recommend Hunter x Hunter, but once you read it and you take in, let's just say, the pieces of the story that are amazing, that are otherworldly, are at the peak of what artistry can do in storytelling, I think you'll be happy or feeling just as satisfied as I am if you take it just at face value, which I feel like is just my personal advice that I'm trying to tell for me. This video is more for me than it is for anyone else, because I've read a lot of manga and have so many anime on my list that wasn't necessarily finished or even appreciated or even correctly expressed, but I still love them nonetheless. And I can't wait to make videos about some of these other mangas and animes that I love and wish they got a proper ending to. But hey, that is some of my thoughts. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Please like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know how you feel. Are you still hoping for Hunter x Hunter? Is there anything you wish to see if Hunter x Hunter did continue? And what would you really think would be the best ending for Hunter x Hunter? Please let me know. And if you agree, disagree, please go into the comments and let me know. Anyway, be easy. Have a great day.